my youth. Possibly some of the best years ever. I mean, that decade was just fucking awesome. Nickelodeon wasn't a piece of useless shit. MTV still played music. The Spice Girls. The epic war between the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Backstreet Boys were first. And did it better. Really bad cough. Sorry about that. And Disney was still making some really great 2D films. Now I know you may not believe me, kids, but before Harry Potter exploded, there was something else. We had goosebumps. And I don't mean it in a literal sense, although maybe some of us did. That's right, children. Before most of us knew of J.K. Rowling's existence, we had R.L. Stine, whom I like to call the Stephen King of horror for children. Don't believe me? Just watch any of the ridiculous films that are based off of King's horror novels, and you'll find an eerie resemblance. Goosebumps was everything. It was Justin Bieber, it was silly bands, it was whatever bullshit these youngins have these days. Goosebumps had a TV show where we got episodes that were based off of books that had been released. Right. Why have original episodes? Don't be silly. Here's 3 episodes that I pulled from the show, which ran for 5 seasons actually. I'm gonna see if they hold up, which I doubt. And I'm also gonna poke fun at it as well. Because who doesn't like looking back at their childhood and poking fun at it? Our first episode is called Stay Out of the Basement. It originally aired as a 2-part episode in season 1. The opening is blatantly 1990s! Though I will admit, the score for it, the music, is actually fucking awesome.
I wish you weren't going.
So do I. But your Aunt Eleanor's sick, honey. She needs me.
I know, but
I'll be back as soon as I can.
I know, it's just that I'm worried about Dad. He's been acting so weird lately.
He's under a lot of pressure, Margaret.
Wow. The acting is profound. Where did they dig these people up?
He wants to prove to the university that they made a mistake when they let him go.
I just think something's wrong. Something else.
Like what?
I don't know.
My advanced child instincts are tingling! To the Batmobile!
Everything's going to be fine.
I'm gonna placate you because I'm your mother and you're just a silly teenager. There's no possible way that my husband, the scientist, could be working on any freaky experiments in the basement. No. No possible way.
Don't worry, I'll take good care of Dad.
It's funny because you're the kid and he's supposed to be taking care of you.
I just don't want you down in the basement. Okay, now, come on. Walk me outside. Okay? Okay, now kids, don't forget what I said about the basement.
Yeah, you told us this just 2 seconds ago, jeez. I know as kids our minds can easily wander, but holy shit, I don't have short-term memory loss.
Where are they? Can I help you?
Why is he so freaked about the basement?
I'm gonna flail my arms in annoyance.
Because he doesn't want us messing with his work.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna flail my arms like the answer to your question is an obvious one. Which is, duh. Seriously, where did they dig these actors up, if you can even call them that? I mean, that is a stretch.
What was that?
Great, now she's hearing sounds that aren't there.
What was that?
The video game.
Maybe it's the wind.
The wind on an empty stomach? I mean, just listen to that sound.
Sounds like it's coming from the basement.
I think the wind is hungry. For children.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment.
I know what Dad said, but what happens if there is an animal and it's like a stray cat or something and it's suffering?
Aw, kids just want to help and save the animals. Wait, what?
Even if you are funny looking, I'll still love you and hug you and squeeze you all to bits.
We have to go down here.
No. You don't have to go down there. But you will anyway. Push her in, kid, and barricade the door. If she wants to be in there so badly, let her.
It's so hot in here. How can Dad stand it?
He may hear you. All the way at the airport. Oh, yeah, and...
It's so hot in here.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
I am getting so hot, I wanna take my clothes off.
Come on, the opportunity presented itself.
Like a jungle.
I can hardly breathe.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, granted, I've never been to a jungle before, but don't plants generally produce oxygen? Or maybe it's just because it's a small, confined area. I don't know.
I wonder if Dad's doing the rainforest. I'm studying it in school.
Okay, I'm sure your sister knows that. Also, how exactly can one do the rainforest? I've heard of tree huggers, but you're just getting freaky, kid. It's moving!
I'm gonna touch it. Oh, he's angry! He's angry!
Dad! Nice of him to give them a heads up. I know, I always appreciated that. Wait, my parents never did anything stupid like that.
My sweater! It's in the basement! Casey, hurry up! Casey!
It's amazing your dad can't hear you.
You in the basement?
We heard some noises.
Did you go into the basement?
I'm afraid you've seen too much, children. You're going to have to be sacrificed.
Kids okay?
Yeah.
You're not gonna beat us?
Now, if I explain to you what I'm doing in the basement, will you feel better? Botanists often try to take good qualities from some plants and put them into another.
And that's what you're doing?
No. I'm doing something a little bit more unusual. I can't tell you what it is right now.
Maybe you could tell us later.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Oh, okay. Didn't you just say that you would let them know what you were doing? The next morning...
Yum.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, I always waltzed around my house in a robe and everything. I could barely remember to put my slippers on. These kids aren't kids. They're children playing adults.
He's not weird. It's just that his work is more...
Very realistic video gaming kid. I don't think you've played a video game in your life. So Casey goes to play outside when their dad appears from the basement, stuffing his face with something from under the sink and drinking lots of water. Well, the kid did say it's really hot. He could barely breathe in the basement, so the water kind of explains itself. But what was the stuff under the sink? Plant food? How do plants have food? They don't. They have water because they don't have mouths.
Mom, I saw him. He was eating it.
I'm sure it has something to do with his work.
Really? Your husband is eating plant food? And this doesn't strike you as the least bit odd? Who the hell did you marry and what do you see in him?
This really bad feeling about Dad.
Hi, honey. Everything okay?
Dude. You should get an award for most creepy dad.
Oh, that's a shame.
And it's kind of funny that his wife didn't even notice he sounds robotic.
You're right. I should spend more time with her. Absolutely, you're right.
That night, Margaret wakes up after hearing some noises. She goes to investigate, and Dad has a cut on his arm, which is oozing green blood. Oh, and there's leaves growing out of his head. But that's... Okay, so he's performing this experiment on himself to prove to the company that sacked him that they made a mistake. Wait, he decides to turn into a plant? Why would anyone want to be turned into a plant? All you prove is that you're insane! He spots Margaret and she rushes back into her room. She manages to curl up and turn out the light before he even opens the door. Slowest dad I've ever seen. Okay, now you just look like T2.
I think Dad's a mad scientist.
Really? Not... I think Dad's turning into a plant? No, you go straight to the whole he's a mad scientist thing. You're an idiot! And he is a mad scientist. He's a scientist who's mad that he got axed.
Hey! Have a seat. It's almost ready.
Dude, your emotions flip like I've never seen.
So I guess you kids think that your old dad's acting pretty darn weird, huh?
You're a terrible actor.
Why are leaves growing out of your head?
Well, that's just a side effect.
Why was there green stuff coming out of your cut?
Well, that wasn't coming out of my cut. That was fluid that comes from the leaves.
And you're a terrible liar.
I'm trying to build a plant that is part animal.
Why would you do this? There is no need for this kind of technology.
How about some breakfast?
That looks more like spinach.
Eat.
What is it?
It's my special recipe.
Spinach oatmeal.
Pick up your spoons and eat it.
You must be subdued! You're asking too many questions! Saved by the bell. No! No!
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time.
No, God, no! Worst part of the 90s. Oh my god.
When I get back, I expect those bowls to be empty.
Of course they'll be empty. But that doesn't mean they ate it. So Dad and another scientist, Dr. Marek, argue in the basement while Casey eavesdrops and then becomes ensnared by a vine.
Get it off! Margaret! Casey! Margaret, come here, quick, please! Margaret, get it off! Casey! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
You're not a mad scientist, are you, Dad?
No, I'm an angry scientist.
Oh my god, that was a horribly written line.
Now both of you, up to your rooms.
Y'all are lucky I didn't sick that evil dead bond to molest you. You would like that. Yes, you would. Yes, sirree. Back in the basement, we get more suspicious behavior. Great, now he's kidnapped a former colleague. Where's the guy's car gone? There's a thunderstorm, they hear a noise, and it's Dad putting a lock on the basement door. Then he says he's gonna go out for a couple of hours. Probably to have a steamy affair with his lover, Petunia.
I've been really trying.
What do you think their kids would look like?
You think Dad's done something to Dr. Merrick?
I don't know, Casey.
What are you saying?
I'm saying it's possible.
No, it isn't. He's our dad.
Honey, dads are not saints. They try to find the number to call their mom and investigate their parents' room. Dad forgot something, so he comes back.
At the tone, please leave a message. I'll be sure to get back to you.
Just unplug it! Casey stalls him and Margaret hides under the bed. After their dad leaves again, the kids uncover the bed and find dirt and worms in it. How's this for a Tempur-Pedic mattress?
I got me one of them Tempur-Pedics over there. Get her done! That's what I'm saying right there.
They go to the basement and find their dad in a closet. Apparently, he was cloned.
Kid, so good to see you. Now quick, untie me.
How'd you get in there? I thought you left.
No, that wasn't me. It's a plant. It's a plant copy of me. Look, I have no time to explain. Just untie me. Quick. Yes. Just untie me.
How do we know you're telling the truth?
I'll explain later. Okay, I promise.
I'm untying him.
God, I hope he doesn't eat you. Again, the dad returns sooner than expected. Man, this guy has a horrible sense of time, doesn't he? They go back and forth.
He was the one that tried to feed you the food. He attacked Merrick. No, that's not true. He has Merrick locked up in the other cupboard. Don't listen to him. Attack him. Now. Before it's too late.
Honestly, if it were me, I'd kill both of you for being so damn creepy and annoying.
Princess! Princess!
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world! Who thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Ah, look out! Look out! I'm going!
How did you know?
There's only one person who calls me Princess. My real dad.
First of all, I'm gonna puke. Secondly, if the plant was a clone of your father, don't you think some of his memories and such would be cloned? I mean, he knew your names. I think he would probably know what your dad's pet name for you is. Mom comes home and Dr. Marek is still helping the guy out. What world are they living in? I mean, the mom is totally unfazed by this whole thing.
I appreciate you getting me out of that closet.
Well, I should thank Margaret and Casey for that.
Margaret goes to tie her shoe and the flowers are talking to her.
Margaret.
Margaret, pick me. Please pick me. I'm really pretty. Really pretty. No, I'm the prettiest. No, pick me. No, pick me. No, I'm the prettiest. Pick me. No, he isn't. I'm the prettiest. No, pick me. No, pick me. No, I'm the prettiest. Pick me. No, pick me. No, pick me. No, me. The end. Hi. You may be wondering, where are the other 2 episodes? Why are you in a completely different outfit? Why is your hair suddenly up? Why is it 3 or more shades darker than it was from the previous clips? Well, that's because my camera and I had a bit of a disagreement, and it suddenly decided to stop in the middle of filming. Luckily, it was after I had finished the first episode, and I was just starting the second one. But when I went back to film the second and third episode for this extravaganza, I discovered that the entire footage was completely out of focus, therefore completely unusable. Here's what I think. So I'm having to go back and reshoot, at the very least, my final verdict, because I'm pushing the end of October and I still have to write and film my final review, well, for this month. So here's what I think. No, this show doesn't hold up at all. The stories were altered slightly, and the originals weren't that amazing. Definitely not like Harry Potter. Unfortunately for Mr. Stein, Goosebumps is now greatly dated. I still think the books are a load of fun, but I just don't think they hold up. I mean, I can see in 10 years that Harry Potter will still be read, and not just out of morbid curiosity like with Goosebumps. Making the TV series out of these books was probably not the best idea. The acting, oh my god, the acting was just awful. And though you can't tell in this episode because he doesn't dress up like a plant, really, the antagonists for these stories were incredibly fake. It was a lot of fun as a kid, but it doesn't translate very well to adulthood. I mean, even the nostalgic aspect of it isn't strong enough to save it. I hope you enjoyed my Goosebumps review. I'm sorry that this didn't turn out to be the extravaganza as I was hoping it would. Until next time, the last Spookfest review of this year. What's it gonna be? Well, it's not really a big secret, but I will give you a hint though. Yet another from my childhood. And no, I am not reviewing the animated series. Pretty sure that still holds up. I hope so. I'll see you then. Bye. And apparently it didn't take much for him to have that affair, did it?